Hi, and welcome to Season 4 of a new podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. If you're finishing school, at college or university, or thinking about starting an apprenticeship, an internship or a job, then this podcast is for you. In this season, we look at what your options are if you've just left school or college, and some of the concerns you have about how the disruption to your education might affect your future. We've been collecting your questions and then reaching out to experts and professionals to get some great advice, just for you. In this first episode, we're looking at some of the questions you've sent us around exam results, especially what to do if you haven't got the results you were hoping for, and what that might mean for your future. Let's get into it.
I'm absolutely devastated. I had my heart on a certain course at a certain uni, and now that dream is gone. I was told I'd get in no problem, and now I'm always going to feel like I failed.
Hi, it's Julie Newton here from United Utilities. I look after the organisational development agenda. It really is a difficult time, isn't it, for young people? And if you have set your heart on a particular course and you can't get in, I can understand truly how devastating that must be. But some advice that I heard very recently was to keep a dialogue going with your particular university because things are changing so rapidly. Universities are changing their minds, they are changing their plans to fit in with changing government advice. So my advice to you would be keep that dialogue going for your ideal course, because you just never know. Don't give up until you have to give up on your dream.
I was hoping I would be able to get higher than my predicted grades. Do you think employers will hold that against me?
Hi, I'm Emma Wong, co-founder and director from Education Business Partnership Northwest. I work with a lot of businesses across the northwest of England, helping to support young people take their first steps on their career journey. And I know for a fact that employers look for so much more than just the grades that are on a piece of paper. They look for very much key transferable skills, such as team working or leadership, how your social skills are and your general willingness to learn, how you present yourself on your application or your CV, or even more importantly at the interview, really stands you in good stead. It's important to make yourself stand out, and I would say my best piece of advice is don't let the coronavirus, COVID-19 grade saga define who you are. Tell them about all your experiences, whether that be in volunteering or any work experiences, any clubs or societies that you belong to, and really tease out those transferable skills that I mentioned, because it's that employers are interested in, who you are as a person.
Lucy Wright, social media account manager at J More Media. I think that a lot of employers understand that exam grades aren't the only way to measure a person. If you build up your CV in other ways with work experience or internships or volunteering, then an employer will definitely not see you as lazy. When we've interviewed people before, the ones who've stood out the most are the ones who've shown that they've made a real effort to gain experience, rather than those who have high A-level results. Personally, I didn't get great A-level results, but I worked towards getting lots of valuable work experience instead, and now I'm working in the industry that I've always wanted to be in.
Hi, my name is Nafisa Kiani. I work as Administrative Clerk Workers Officer and Events Coordinator for the House Commons Sergeant Arms Office. So one student has said that they're really disappointed in the exam results. They feel as though employers are going to assume they're not clever or they're lazy. I don't necessarily think that's the case. When you are making job role applications, employers tend to look at whether you meet the criteria within the job specification for a particular job role. And also they tend to look at your experience. So as long as you can build up your voluntary work or paid work experience, that can be a good idea. And also, if you are considering retaking your exams, that can be a possibility if you feel as though you stand a good chance of improving on your previous grades. And it's a good chance to carry on studying because of the current climate. But yeah, don't be too disheartened, don't be too hard on yourself. Employers tend to look at your experience and how you meet the criteria within a job role specification. Education does play a part, but it's not focused upon solely. That would be my advice to you.
I feel like anyone who got their results in 2020 won't be believed. Will colleges and employers just think we had sympathetic teachers?
My name is David Easton and I am a media lecturer at Burnley College. I don't really think that colleges will think you had a sympathetic teacher. I think what you'll actually find is colleges will be sympathetic to the fact that you might not have fair grades for your effort and ability. And I think certainly from the conversations I've had here at Burnley College, we've already factored in that sort of situation and making sure that no student is disadvantaged. And whether it's their predicted grades or the actual grades they're getting, we're making sure that students are still getting where they need to be. And I think that'll be across the board. I think everyone's aware that this is a mess, and it's really important that students aren't disadvantaged by this.
I'd like to take my A-level exam in the autumn, as I didn't get the grade I wanted, but feel like I've missed so much of the curriculum this year that I still won't be ready. Would it be better to accept my grade and move on? It's one below what I hoped I would get.
Hi, I'm Lauren Higgins, Key Stage Coordinator of English, and I also run my own educational company. I bet many of you are thinking about sitting your A-level exam or retaking your A-level exam, obviously in the absence of the exams this summer. Maybe you weren't happy with your grade this time round, or you're just willing to put yourself out there and sit the exam to see what grade you would have got sort of fair and square. It's a great idea if you feel that you can make up for the curriculum content that's perhaps lost. So your first port of call would be to reach out to your teachers and see where on the specification you have got gaps, and then revise. If you really feel that there's been an injustice or you could perhaps do better on the day itself, the more work you put in, it's what you will get out. And there is an abundance, there is a ton of material out there to help you make up for the content that is lost. So if you back yourself, you're confident enough and you're willing to put the work in, I'd say absolutely go for it. There's nothing stopping you.
I heard someone on the TV news say that if employers have a choice between someone who took exams in 2020 compared to 2019 or 2021, they will always choose the other years. I feel like my education has been a waste.
Graeme Lucas, the Managing Director for the Northern region of Michael Page. I wouldn't worry about that individual's comments too much. I think employers are going to be hugely respectful of just how difficult the circumstances have been and how hard people have had to work in 2020 to attain the grades they have. So I think they'll be very much viewed in line with 19 and 21 grades. What I would add is I think employers are looking at grades in any year as very much the educational foundation, that they're then looking at how are you able to transfer that to a work environment, how are you able to build on that skill set that you've developed to date. And I think the pandemic offers a great opportunity for people to stand out. So, fundamentally, in my view, employers are trying to interview people based on adaptability, based on learning style, based on resilience and lots of other attributes that you'll be able to talk through. So what challenges have you faced in the pandemic? What have you done to overcome them? What did you achieve? What did you learn? So really good example of how you could bring that to life and really make yourself stand out.
Sean Anstey, Trafford Council. I think the first thing to say is that your education is not a waste. These are unprecedented times, challenging times, but all of the work that you've put into the grades that you've received is relevant, and it will continue to be relevant for many, many years to come. So when you're out in the job market, make sure you stand out, make sure that you sell your strengths, do so confidently and with a real conviction, and that will stand you in good stead.
I had a place on a university course and then my grades were downgraded and I lost it. We've now been given our teacher assessed grades, but my first choice uni course is full. What should I do?
I'm Sophie Milliken and I'm MD at SRS Recruitment and Employability Experts.
I can only imagine how frustrating it must feel and how disappointing to have thought that you've not got a place on your university course because of your grades, and then of course your grades have been increased and you do actually now qualify for the course, but it's full. And I imagine that there are a number of students in similar positions, which probably doesn't make you feel any better, to be honest. I think probably the best course of action would be to approach the university and just see exactly what the state of play is. Could you go on some kind of a waiting list? Are they operating that as a system? I mean, I think a lot of them at the moment are waiting to hear whether they can offer more places on courses. So my suggestion would certainly be to keep in touch with them as things change, show how keen you are, and as things change, as the numbers are increased, it might well be that you do get an opportunity. If that doesn't happen, then you need to think about whether you want to go with your second choice or whether you want to wait and postpone for a year and think about what you can do with that time instead. So a challenging time, but don't give up yet.
My predicted grades were better than I expected I'd get in my exams, and now my parents think I should apply to university. I think I might be out of my depth though, as no one in my family has been to university before.
Hi, I'm Alison Fisher. I'm the Chief People Officer for Cox Automotive. My advice to you is if you want to go to university, then go to university, because there will be lots of people thinking exactly the same as you as to whether or not they think they're going to be out of their depth. Trust me, loads more people will be thinking exactly the same. I was the first generation in my family to go to university. And I took that opportunity because it was something that I personally really wanted to do. So if you want it enough, then absolutely go for it, and you will have absolutely no regrets as a result of that. Good luck.
Dawn McGrewer, digital marketing speaker, author and trainer. So in regards to going to university, you've got good grades, you've got a place. It's amazing. It doesn't matter whether in the past your family have gone to university. I think often the perception is that there's a certain status, a certain standing in the community that these people have to go to university, and in turn that some people shouldn't go to university. This is what really angers me, because we should all feel empowered that we deserve to do whatever we want in our futures. And this is the amazing thing. In 2020, we should feel empowered and we should feel invigorated. Equality and diversity are key, and every single person deserves to do what they want, whether that's going to university or whether it's choosing a different route. There is no one route better than the other. It's whatever is the best route for you so that you can achieve your dreams and goals. So don't be disheartened and don't be dismayed. Keep your blinkers on and focus on your own journey. Stay in your own lane and don't get diverted. If it's what you truly want to do and it's what your passion is, then you should absolutely go and excel and take advantage of this university placement.
Thanks so much for listening to this podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. A special thanks to everyone who sent us a question and to all the people who took time to give us their advice too. Do get in touch with us. You can find us online at northernpowerfutures.com, or do reach out on social media. Find us on Instagram at Northern Power Futures or Twitter at NP_Futures. If you would like some help with the problem you're facing, then just record your question and send it to us at hello@northernpowerfutures.com, and you could be featured on a future episode. The Northern Power Futures podcast is a What Goes On media production.